Sagittarius. It's your girl, Javy. High Priestess. Back at it again with the general tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2021. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. They will all be done by tomorrow. I'm fingers crossed. For daily tarot readings, check out my Instagram, justj_everything, and for other dope shit that I do, check out my website, justjeverything.com. Now, Sagittarius, in true Taurus season fashion, I am only doing the really important astrological notes because I want us to get into this energy, this taking advantage of the resources that are available to you. And some of those resources are your intuition and common sense. Yes, darling. Ooh. And I didn't want to, I was asking for cards, but the Five of Cups just came out. Interesting, because on May 8th, in 3 days, Venus will be squaring Jupiter, your ruling planet, and there is this clash between love, business, luck, some disruption of sorts. So, we'll get to this real quick, but there may just be some kind of emotional conflict that has been up, some kind of loss, regret, remorse, something that spilled cups, not crying over spilled milk anymore. Give me a paper towel, give me another volume, give me another hour or 2 hour with you. Why you bother me when you know you won't want me? Why you bother me when you know you got a woman? Anyway, on May 11th, your ruling planet Jupiter goes into Pisces. Home. This is the guardian angel placement. Things are going to get really much more imaginative. Big awakenings. Putting this to rest. Laying some remorse, some heaviness to bed. That same day, there is the new moon in Taurus, which is going to highlight some of the dark sides of self-care and the way that we treat ourselves and luxuriate ourselves. Some of you, there are substance abuse or people with substance abuse struggling around you. Some of you may be struggling with addiction or struggling with depression, sadness. There may be someone coming in that is struggling with addiction in some way, and that's just something to really take a look at. Now, you are gearing up for a full moon lunar eclipse, but that is in your sign, but that's in Gemini season, so we will get to that when we get to it. So, Sagittarius, take a deep breath, hydrate, light it if you got it, because we are asking for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2021. And with that first card out being the Five of Cups, and I feel like some of you have already are facing that or dealing with that heaviness, but I'm not taking all that. That's way too much. King of Cups and King of Swords is what I saw. So maybe too many cooks in the kitchen, Sagittarius. There could be you really being hard on yourself, trying to master your emotions, trying to master your words. Or there could just be people who are, heavy air signs, heavy water placements showing up, making an impact in your life. You may be having a hard time talking. These cards don't want to really, they want to be very specific with you, it seems like. And I feel like this is too many cards, but we'll see. Knight of Swords. So you probably popped off at the mouth. The Devil, to maybe someone with heavy Capricorn or Aquarius placements. Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. That is actually all the cards that I needed. Perfect. And the bottom of the deck being the Chariot. So look, this heaviness that you feel, if you really tend to it, if you really address it, if you set proper boundaries, if you face your darkness, face the devil, face whatever feels restrictive, whatever feels bound to. Some of you, there could be someone with heavy Capricorn or Aquarius placements that you are, or heavy air placements, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I also want to say water. There's not a lot of fire here that's coming up. There's no fire that's come out for Taurus season for Sagittarius, which is interesting. You guys may be harnessing your energy in a different way, really needing to focus on emotionality, getting grounded, really effectively communicating yourselves, because this looks like there are heavy feelings, regrets, loss. This also looks like addiction, toxic relationships, possessiveness. That needs to be communicated, that needs to be talked about, that needs to be addressed, faced, so that you can find your flow again, so that you can start tending to getting more grounded and building whatever it is that you're trying to build and overcoming whatever it is that you're trying to overcome, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There is a flow to get back into. Some of you, there are, some of you are tempted, maybe those of you who are in a relationship or exploring being in a relationship, or there could be some kind of temptation coming up. Temptation to juggle people, being juggled by someone who's really controlling or restrictive, or someone who's very serious. This could be really serious energy that's coming in. Someone that you feel like has some kind of power over you in some way. Oh, sorry, my back. Someone that you feel like has some sort of power over you in some way, possibly. This even, oof, like I just want to light a cigarette on this one. Y'all saw I almost lit it backwards. This is, this feels heavy, Sagittarius, way heavier than I expected. I expected to come in here and talking to you guys about play and fun and flow. That did come up, but and maybe that could be something that's coming up, is clearing through this heaviness so that you can get back to play. Because with Mercury in Gemini now, there is this desire to explore and to play and figure out how you play with others. Some people here aren't playing well with others. Some of you are feeling juggled by someone, or you are really needing to detach from anything that feels restrictive or overly time consuming or overly serious or isn't going in the direction that you're trying to go, so that you can really step into your power and tap into possible multiple streams of income. And if you really focus on your flow, no matter how emotionally turbulent the situation is, if you really keep your eyes on the prize, there is a turning of tables that takes place here, an overcoming. And people that want to invest. Some of you, I feel like, either you feel like you have been, like, no more groveling, no more settling for less, no more accepting breadcrumbs of what you think you deserve. Some of you are really taking a stand financially, are really taking a stand as far as your value, as far as how you want to spend your time. Be careful with that. Because some of you, you may pigeonhole yourself or keep yourself, you may bind yourself from experiencing freedom in some way by being really strict about a value on yourself or something of that nature. But it's going to manifest for you all differently. But there are some of you who are needing to value yourself more. Some of you, I just feel like you're doing something that you regret, and we're gonna look into this, but it's just like you're going, it's perpetuating it. Like, this could be drinking or smoking or partying too much or overindulgence in some way. For some of you, there is just like a bridge to cross. Some of you are drinking or consuming in some way, overindulging in some way in order to cope. And that is what's coming up to be really like addressed. And the Knight of Swords has somewhere to go. And there is this need to really get back on the horse, it feels like. Some of you may have fallen off the wagon in some way. And there is a need to set really strict boundaries about how you think about yourself, how you process your grief, how you process your loss, how you deal with addiction or temptation or restriction. Some of you may be really just like, it's like, this looks like an argument. This looks like confrontation. This looks like, and some of you may have already gone through this. This could be a job or a relationship, but this is like feeling the need to get away from something or someone. So that you can choose, make the choices that you want to make. Not considering anyone's feelings, but the feelings that you're really wanting to make. Cancer showing up at the bottom of the deck with the Eight of Cups underneath. There is this need to like get out of your comfort zone. Someone with heavy Cancer or water or Scorpio placements may be leaving in some way or pursuing a dream in some way, or you guys are in motion. I feel like there is a need to take care of your car. If there are any, like, make sure that you're keeping your oil change current and things of that nature, Sagittarius. Because you need to be in motion. There is success, triumph, victory available to you. And in order to really take advantage of this success that wants to come in, you've got to tend to your dark side and your shadow and really figure some shit out. Figure out how to love yourself and to love those dark parts of yourself and how to set really strict boundaries with yourself. Thank you, God. That, ooh, when I said set strict boundaries with yourself, it's like, silence, peace came in. And when you set those strict boundaries with yourself, you'll be able to set those strict boundaries with other people. And really, the devil at the center of the reading, really, really hone into your power and figure out how you want to wield it. What do you want to do with all of this power? What do you want to do with this restrictive feeling? Or what do you want to do with this desire to be reckless? There may be just some reckless energy that really comes up in Taurus season that you're needing to tend to, and you need to make sure that you being reckless or you not thinking shit through all the way doesn't fuck around and bind you to something that you don't want to be bound to. Especially if it's like you're okay with it one day and not the other, and then you're like back and forth about it. Like, no. It needs to be a full body yes. All like consistently. No lukewarm shit. Not in Taurus season, especially not in Gemini season. So, what heaviness do you need to tend to so that you can really overcome? Let's get into it.
All right, Sagittarius, let's get into it. And I think it's interesting the way the light is shining on these scales here, because though this reading is starting off a bit heavy, and though this season may be heavier than expected, there is this heaviness is coming because there is this needing to ground and to pull you closer to reality. And understand that though things may be in a weird place or in a transitional place, there's deep truth coming to light. And the scales are very much so recalibrating and balancing out in your favor. Please clarify the Five of Cups. Because there may be some kind of like cold, hard truth of reality of a situation, and that needs to be addressed. You may be avoiding it. Some of you may be holding back. There may be, this Five of Cups may be some heaviness or regret in regards to you. Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. There is maybe some way that you've disappointed yourself, possibly. Disappointed someone that you were maybe trying to start a relationship with, or like a crush, or initiating some sort of connection or business idea that you may be experiencing some kind of disappointment or loss or regret or remorse, but don't, just because you may feel down, you're not going to always be down. You are being asked to get, back down to reality, because I feel like there's too much going on. Like I said, too many cooks in the kitchen, competing passions. And I feel like we talk about this often, Sagittarius, where it's just like there's too much. Too many people, too many opinions, too many ideas that aren't being acted on. It's like, this feels very like a jack of all trades is a master of none. And that's no shade in any way. Like, there is Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck. There is this overcoming, this need to, I feel like, get in defense of yourself. For some of you, there's conflict, multiple lovers, multiple suitors, competing suitors, possibly. And you finally do the Sagittarius thing and get really, really blunt and start really saying how you feel. And if you haven't already, you really need to. Because there is something about too much. Just too much. Please clarify the Knight of Swords. This just feels like confrontation. There may have been confrontation or words said to you that have really kept you sad or down. You may be needing to, like, what do you need to say? There's something that you may need to say to someone with heavy water placements or Capricorn or Aquarius placements. Someone with heavy water placements may be getting in a new relationship, and there's that could be a friend situation. They may be in a new relationship and it's just like you don't have time for each other anymore, or and that's not for everybody, but either way, there is some sort of heaviness that needs to be cut through by way of communication, and you really having some radical change of thought in regards to how you tend to this heaviness. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please clarify the Knight of Swords for Taurus season 2021. Please clarify the Knight of Swords. I will take that. Judgment reversed. Yeah. Some of you did the thing and said something in a less favorable manner. There's some kind of truth, some need to get off the fence. This feels fucking exhausting, honestly. Sagittarius, whatever this is, there is water signs in your life that are struggling with their relationships with themselves, and their relationships that they're trying to kindle. There is just fights, drama going on, too many opinions, a need to get off the fence and really take heed towards the calling on your life. The trumpet of truth, the trumpet of truth is sounding quite loudly, Sagittarius, quite loudly in your ear. And there are things that you need to say that could wake the dead, that could really wake the dead in other people, that could really stir shit up, and you haven't been saying it. Or some of you said it very aggressively and maybe hurt someone's feelings, or now you're in a situation where you have to apologize, or you regret something, or vice versa. That could be someone saying, someone's behavior towards you. Please clarify the devil. Either way, there is some sort of attachment that you are struggling with. Temptation. Feeling like there may be a captor or something you can't get away from. So are there any negative relationships in your life right now? But this could be a negative relationship towards power, towards greed, towards sex, drugs, rock and roll, a negative relationship with partying, a negative relationship with substances, negative relationship with a Capricorn, Aquarius, or restriction or fear, or toxicity itself, being addicted to, this could be addicted to rejection, addicted to drama. That could be something that's really coming up. Some of you, there are things in regards to the father that are coming up, like your issues with fatherhood, or your issues with authority, or someone having a power over you, or submitting to someone, experiencing bondage in some way. You could just be, being manipulated in some way by some sort of greed, or some sort of, sorry, these cards fell, being manipulated by some sort of manipulator. I mean, the devil often comes up whenever you've been tricked, or you've tricked yourself into thinking that you don't have any control. You need to make some of you think that you don't have control over your shadow side, over your dark side, over your addictions, or you're feeling out of control. And there is this need to break free, because you can. And you can by way of facing this, accepting there may be some kind of obsession, or feeling like someone is obsessed with you, or vice versa. There could be some kind of situation that you've settled for, or some kind of unwanted situation where that you feel like you're losing independence in some way, or submitting in some way. For some of you, that could be good. For some of you, there's maybe some catharsis in submission, some healing in submission. But some of you may be feeling hopeless, believing in the worst, doubting yourself. And there is this need to really pay attention, Sagittarius, to that trap in your mind that lies between short-term pleasure and long-term pain. Please clarify the devil for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Trapped between short-term pleasure and long-term pain. Just chew on that a bit. Wow, Two of Swords reversed. It really came out, well, yeah, it was reversed. I saw it reversed. So we'll go with it, because there is a decision that you've been putting off, Things that you have, this is willful blindness, putting your real feelings on the back burner. Short-term compromise, temporary compromises being made, doing stuff that you don't really want to do, going along with things just to maintain homeostasis in some way. What are you vacillating about, Sagittarius? What are you going back and forth about? What do you know you need to break free of? It's like when you slash those swords, you could cut through whatever is in front of you that's keeping you fearful, that's keeping you, these two swords, two people, like slashing it. And then you have the ability to take the blindfold off and really see everything clearly for what it is. I just saw the Tower on the bottom of the deck. This is really not being afraid to tear down any foundations or connections that are built on unsound structures, or built on things that you are built on temporary decisions, built on temporary compromises, or things that were decided in the heat of the moment. I'm on one more card. It's the Devil's the only major arcana in this reading. Wow. And the Seven of Swords. There is some sort of like betrayal of self. Something, whatever it is, you going back and forth. These two swords back here, these two swords back here, you, excuse me, there is some sort of betrayal or shady behavior that you need to cease and desist. If it feels off, it fucking is, and keep it moving. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving. And create a breakthrough for yourself, because you could really have some, the Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles here, that's the Eight of Pentacles. That is focusing, really minding your business, putting the blinders on and focusing. And bam, if you break away from this, in comes the Nine of Cups, self-satisfaction, you really tapping into a new kind of flow and freedom for yourself and multiple streams of income that'll put you in a place of being really, really proud of yourself and being able to look back and see how far you've come, how far you have come. Please clarify the Six of Pentacles. And whenever you find that new flow, there's someone or people that want to invest in you, that want to, Four of Cups, Five. So it's like, yeah, it gets easier. Going from the 5 to the 4, from the 9 to the 4, it gets easier for you to really stop crying over that same spilt milk and those same 3 cups and that whatever third-party situation or substance abuse or collaboration that didn't work out, or emotional foundation or friendship that's that's falling apart. It's like, stop focusing on it. Stop not crying over spilt milk. Give me a paper towel. Wipe that shit up so that you can really tend to the new opportunities, the new love, the new creativity, the new levels in your spirituality that want to come into you and that want to be unlocked within you. Yeah, Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. There's an end of a cycle that you guys are really putting off. Mars is in Cancer right now, so it's debilitated, and everyone's energy is just not what it normally is. There is this like very introverted homebody kind of thing that's happening, and it's getting everybody's emotional shit in order so that in Gemini season, now that Mercury's there, we can all really think and reflect effectively amidst that Mercury retrograde that's going to come in Gemini season. And it's just like whenever these new people or new opportunities come in and want to invest and want to pour into you, and when the tables really start to turn, Sagittarius, you don't need to be stuck in the past. You need to be really paying attention to the present and what's going on. One more card for the, I'm not taking all that. One more card. I'll take this, Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's time to, all the things that you've been daydreaming about, bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands, all the things that you've been daydreaming about, you can actually bring to fruition if you get yourself free of any restrictive energy and things that are distracting you, and the naysayers and the self-limiting beliefs and the self-doubt, and get really mature so that you can get back on your throne and get back into your power and really create the version of yourself and project and be the version of yourself that you want to be, and that you can call in that vision of your life that was very, very clear in Aries season. It's still there. It's still happening. Things are still happening. There are just things that you need to get rid of and detach from, and heaviness and dead weight that you need to drop so that you can go ahead and move forward and be free about the cabin and properly wield your autonomy and independence and your power. You got this. I love you.